Most people don't realize how much of their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making millions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might just sell credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/hidden. Protect yourself now at aura.com/hidden.
Welcome to the Instagram stories for Wednesday, December 27th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Around this time of year, it's pretty slow for news. So I sat down with Anna Hartley, who is a marketer and a super fan of this show, and we talked about some of our favorite social media news stories of the past 12 months, our favorite Instagram features, and in today's episode, you're going to hear us talk about our favorite new technology over the past 12 months, our favorite TikTok trend, and then after the break, the biggest fail of the year. So I think you're really going to like this episode. Let's go on to the next one. Yeah. Your favorite new technology. What's been either your favorite new technology that you've used or that you've seen in the past 12 months or something coming out?
I try a bunch of things, but I think the coolest one recently are the Meta smart glasses. So I'll probably get a pair of those. I just think the AI with it. I haven't tried it myself yet, but when you watch the videos, as long as it actually works the way they're showing, I have Alexas all over my house. It looks like it'll function much better. And then the fact that they're glasses and you can sort of, maybe able to see what you have on screen in the future and do some cool things. I think that's really neat.
Do you wear glasses normally that you would get these? Right, same. So I wear contact lenses and I love wearing contact lenses. I don't think I can go back to wearing glasses. I have a pair just for when I'm sick or something like that. But I do wear sunglasses. So I think that kind of overlap is interesting. But I saw, and I think it was Mark Zuckerberg who posted the video where he was in his closet and he kind of held up a shirt to the smart glasses and he said, okay, show me what else in my closet would match with these, right? Maybe you saw the same video. And that's a very interesting, I think I'm capable of matching my own clothes, but I always ask my wife for her take or her opinion if I'm matching something I didn't match before. So to have AI kind of weigh in on that, I think is a really interesting idea.
Yeah, it's really neat. Actually, Amazon also had there was an Alexa that they've discontinued like that, where you could take a picture and half the time it would be actual people and half the time it was sort of AI telling you whether your outfit, whether you could say, do I want to wear this jacket or this jacket? And it would take two pictures of you and then tell you pros and cons why. I think just enough people weren't using it, so they discontinued it. But it worked pretty well, actually. So that was years ago. So I imagine, that it will actually do a pretty good job.
I've never seen that before. I didn't know Amazon had that, but I really like that idea just to get that second opinion, right? Because sometimes even I ask my wife, do you think this matches? And she says no, but I still think that it might. So to get that second opinion, I really like that as an idea. I put down for my favorite new technology, and this is only because it's new to me, is wireless Android Auto. And if you have CarPlay or Android Auto, I think it's great to be able to not worry about the GPS from your car, but rather using the one that's most updated on your phone, getting that Spotify or Apple Music integration or whatever music app you use, and being able to make that wireless. In my case, my car had Android Auto, but not wireless Android Auto. So I had to take my phone out every time and plug it in, and it was annoying. But now I just got a little wireless adapter. It was like $40 on Amazon. Phone stays in my pocket. And it's just in terms of getting in the car, getting in, getting out, quick, short trips, it's a lot easier. So that's my favorite new technology overall. If you have a car that has Android Auto, it's worth investing those few dollars, I think, to get that. But if you have an older car, sorry, not yet, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think too the big one that everyone will say is ChatGPT, just integrating into everything. And that whole phenomenon, which is really quite amazing.
I'm glad you brought that up. Do you use ChatGPT regularly?
Yeah, I go through phases with it though, and I'm kind of still working that out. So I think one thing that I would suggest to everybody is there's, most cities have a small business center or a university. Like I live where there's a university, and they have a small business center where they did some classes on it with different sections. It was like once a week for an hour, and you could go or just do it online. And I thought that was pretty interesting for them to show you kind of some examples and you'd be able to ask questions back. And I would think most places are doing that sort of thing. It's all just moving really fast. But yeah, I go through periods where I play with it a lot and try and use it, and then where I just kind of get back in the habit of doing what I was doing before. Kind of have to make an effort, but it's definitely worth it. I think packing lists were amazing. I think the best thing I've done with it is I did a big sailing trip January last year, right when it got super popular, or this year, I guess. And so we had all these people and all these days. So we were able to type in, make a 5-day list for a food list for us to bring for a sailing trip with meals, with whatever, lunch, breakfast, dinner, no gluten, no whatever it was. And it just popped out all these amazing ideas and a perfect grocery list. And same thing with sort of packing for that sort of thing. I mean, not that you don't know what to pack, but it's just so much easier when they just popped it out. And we were very specific, sailing trip and blah, blah, blah. And it did a really good job.
We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about our favorite TikTok trends of 2023. And we're back. As a reminder, this is a recap of 2023, and now we're going to talk about our favorite TikTok trends of the past 12 months. Let's go on to favorite TikTok trend. What was your favorite TikTok trend of the past 12 months?
I do like when people do the social media versus reality. That's one that I find really funny. They show some beautiful picture of them holding on and over the edge of a cliff with a rock, and then 3 seconds later they show you that there's another little rock underneath that they just pick their feet off of and chop the bottom so you can't tell, and it looks like they're hanging, or them walking down the street looking very supermodel across a New York walkway or something, and then they show it and you just look, when they actually show it with all the people in the full camera view, people are staring at them. They look absolutely ridiculous. They fall into things. People are honking at them. So I think it's funny.
I've seen that same trend where there's a beautiful tourist attraction that you would love to fly to and see and take a picture. And then they show the thousands of people lined up to take that one picture in front of the tourist attraction. And that really, it turns me off a lot in terms of wanting to do those kinds of trips and see those things. I do think that's a great trend. I actually picked two trends, one that I think is not great and one that I think is funny. The one that I picked that's not great is the glamour filter.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably not the exact name of it.
Yeah.
But every time I see someone use that filter and I realize that they are using that filter and then they turn it off, it's just a really good reminder for me that what I'm seeing on the internet is not something I should be 100% trusting, no matter how good it looks or no matter what, because it could be deceptive. And I think it's a really good reminder. I think it's called the bold glamour filter of how far these filters have come and how much people use them without necessarily their audience being aware of it. So I picked that one for a not great trend. And then the audio clip of the woman who makes pesto, and she says, her name's Susie, and she says, call me crazy, but I've never liked to buy store-bought pesto. And then the clip cuts, and the person who's making a video will say, that is crazy. Do you want to hear something else crazy? And then they tell a very long story that is often very insane. And it's just a really weird juxtaposition of the making pesto versus the crazy story. And so I like that trend as well.
Yeah, it's funny how the internet can run with these things. And, I guess that's been a hot topic too for social media news in 2023 is sort of the safety of social media with kids. And that glamour filter is kind of the, perfect example of where there can be issues. I mean, it's scary really how, because right, it makes your eyes a little wider, makes your lips a little bigger, makes you have no wrinkles. And I mean, you just imagine, that there's going to be more kids wanting plastic surgery or beautiful girls who think they're not as beautiful. Because no matter how big your lips are, it's going to make them bigger and, et cetera, et cetera. I'm pretty thin myself, but it thins your face and thins your arms and things like that. And it's like, I mean, I've done them before, accidentally somehow switched over and not even really noticed. And later, it's like if you really, really look at it, that arm is smaller than is basically humanly possible. But at the same time, it's me and I barely even notice it. So it's scary.
Okay, we've run out of time. We didn't have a chance to get into our biggest fail of the year, so that will be on the next episode. Be sure to come back for that. Also, I posted an interview with journalist Taylor Lorenz from the Washington Post all about her new book, Extremely Online, which is a history of social media and how we got to where we are. If you check out the episode, there is a gift at the end, so be sure to listen to the entire episode on the Instagram Stories podcast, which you can get wherever you get podcasts. As always,
Instagram news got you covered. Sometimes even TikTok. Relevant platforms in the metaverse ahead of the wave without a break or a pit stop. Still waiting for Zuckerberg to give me the big job. Pause. Use trademarks and logos with Insta's permission, of course. If you like the show and you gain some good info, maybe leave a review. It's a type of applause. Just drop me a message if you want to collab. If you got some good content or you want to run ads, at Daniel Hill Media is where I am. TikTok, Facebook and Instagram.